Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and I'm just currently going to be doing my preview for the Cska Moscow Manchester United game, which is Wednesday night, 8:15 kickoff. It's at the VEB Arena, it's on BT Sport 3 if you do want to watch the game. This is our second group stage match this season in the Champions League. We won our first group stage match convincingly in a 3-0 victory over Basel, which was a very good performance. But there's big games coming up thick and fast for Manchester United. We've got to travel to Moscow Wednesday. We've got Palace, which will be a win, and then I think we go to Liverpool soon as well, and we also go to Benfica as well in the process. So Manchester United travel to CSK Moscow on Wednesday. I haven't catched up with much of the team news so far. What's potentially I guess going to be played. We'll update you more on that maybe later on when more things are updated. But it's not going to be as easy as it looks in this game, because we know Man United, played very well this season. We had 4-0 West Ham, 4-0 Swansea, 2-0 Leicester, 3-0 Basel, 4-1 Burton, 1-0 win at Southampton as well, which wasn't the best of performances. But we have scored about 24 goals and only conceded 3 goals, which is a positive. As I said, we've got Lukaku now with 8 goals, 91 goals in all in the Premier League. We've got Mkhitaryan, that's provided about 5 assists. We've got Rashford going developing into his game. He scored 5 goals in all competitions. Jose Mourinho didn't play Martial on Saturday against Southampton. He didn't play Antonio Martial. I'm assuming maybe resting for the Moscow game on Wednesday. Martial has scored about 3 or 4 goals this season. But I still think we're lacking the control in the midfield, as I said, without Paul Pogba. It does look a bit static, does the midfield there without Paul Pogba, as you saw suggestions on Saturday against Southampton. But Fellaini, has done well this season. A couple of times come off the bench twice, a couple of times got his name on the score sheet as well. I think Bailey and Jones, are complementing each other fantastically well at the back. I think we've got a very good defensive area. So too, we know Bailey and Jones have been playing in the Premier League this season. They have been playing in the Premier League all the time. Jose Mourinho's been mainly sticking with the 4-2-3-1, but obviously Jose Mourinho has played Smalling, Lindelof in the Super Cup with Madrid. He played him in the Basel game. He played him in the Burton game. So the cup games, he's playing Smalling, Lindelof so far, and for the league games, he's playing Bailey and Jones as well. So he may put Smalling and Lindelof in this game as he's sticking with Bailey and Phil Jones in the current Premier League. But a very good result last time out in the Champions League. A good 3-0 victory over Basel. Ashley Young, his first return for ages, getting an assist in that game. Also, for Marion Fellaini playing fantastically well, creating, providing. Every time I had the ball, looks always going to do something with it, helping his teammates out, linking up the play fantastically well. And when he came off for the injured Paul Pogba, I thought Fellaini made an absolutely fantastic impact in the game. And last couple of games, he's been going with Matic and Fellaini in the midfield as Jose Mourinho. Herrera has not featured much this season, but we know Manchester United, have scored about 9 occasions late on this season in the last 15 minutes of games. So we are killing games off late on quite a few occasions this season. As with all witness, but we know Paul Pogba's out. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. The press said it could be up to 12 weeks. As I said, it could be up to 12 weeks. Jose Mourinho dispelled him. I just think he basically suggested out the club have not yet announced how long Paul Pogba could be out for. When he got injured, it did confirm he'd been with a personal trainer and he'd been private training. Jose Mourinho, when it first happened, he wasn't satisfied with Paul Pogba, for ignoring the medical staff and going against the club's advice. But Pogba's an essential player, and we know got him for £89 million last summer from Juventus. He's an essential player, very good towards the end of last season. This season done very well, scored quite a few goals and provided a few assists as well as Paul Pogba. He'd come off in the Basel game injured, so the captain and went to Ashley Young. He'd come off in the 20th minute mark, but I said, now Pogba's off, we've got to get someone who's going to step up there. And Fellaini did it fantastically well, but Fellaini, as I said, is not going to be trustworthy every single game, as I said. But Jose Mourinho, admires the player very well. And yeah, but last time out, Man United did beat Southampton 1-0, as I did do a review on the game. Let's be honest, it wasn't the best of performances, especially, Southampton were dominating the possession. They had chances through Tadic, they had chances through Redmond as well early on. And they only had a lot of the possession. They were putting a lot of pressure on us. And every time we were going forward, there wasn't allowing us any space, to get in behind and create any real opportunities. Did Southampton? We saw a few times. I thought Rashford still showed his genuine pace. I thought he still looked sharp going forward. I thought Lukaku did okay, but we were struggling. Mkhitaryan were making a few decent runs, as you saw in the first half. They were trying to thread balls through to him, but couldn't convert it, as Southampton were very, very good defensively. And then I thought after 15 minutes, Man United had come into the game a bit, we'd also took the lead. Ashley Young with a sublime cross as well, as he did play, in the Basel game on the right. And then, the last couple of games, he's featured in Everton, he's featured in Burton. He has been rotated to the left-hand side of the full-back position as Ashley Young. And I think he's performed fantastically well, Ashley Young, to be quite fair, since he's come back. I think he's got an option to sign a one-year extension, which I presume that he's going to be doing because Man United have had talks. But Ashley Young's still a good player under Jose Mourinho, but crossed the ball in. Lukaku headed it, and Lukaku had got the rebound and made it 1-0. And Rashford had a chance from a free kick. That was very, very a good effort, just went wide of the post. And then basically, it was a half-time, and then basically Jose Mourinho did the right thing, he brought the likes of Blindon, Smalling and Herrera. I think he needs to put Ander Herrera more, featuring more this season, well, whilst Paul Pogba's injured anyway. Do you think Man United are better with a midfield 2, or do you think they're better with a midfield 3? Because we know he hasn't really gone with a 4-3-3 this season. He's stuck with a 4-2-3-1 mostly, as Jose Mourinho well. But what I was saying is, and especially in the second half in the Southampton game, they were pressurising us, what's his name, Ray, who had 2 chances, 1 from 5 yards, went wide, 1 that was cleared. Rara had a chance, 1 that was cleared off the line by Marion Fellaini as well, so we did get out of jail there. But Man United didn't really have many opportunities in the game. Southampton must have had about 14 shots on goal, but I thought Phil Jones played well at the back. He made about 11 clearances. His pass success was good as well. Bailey played well at the back in that game, but he wasn't the best of performances, but it's interesting to see our teams, big teams like City and Chelsea, are going to exploit us if we do perform. And if we do put performance in that is not up to scratch. But I think the rest of the performances have been very, very good, just apart from Saturday. But it can show signs when you're not playing your best and still grinding out results like we used to do under the Fergie era. Man United did it for a lot of games under Alex Ferguson. We didn't play as best and still got results. So just still shows signs of a good team does that. But CSK Moscow away is not going to be that really easy. Man United, of course, are the favourites to win the game. So we are going to get into the details of the game now. CSK Moscow win this in there. They haven't beat us in 4 games of CSK Moscow, all in the Champions League. We're unbeaten in 5. We actually are unbeaten in 5 away games against Russian oppositions in all competitions. Although 4 of those have ended as draws. Their only win coming against Moscow in October. Man United 5 games against Russian clubs in all competitions have produced only 5 goals. CSK Moscow failed to reach the knockout stage in their previous Champions League appearances. The last time they made a round of 16 was in 2011-12, when Real Madrid eventually knocked them out. CSK Moscow have never won their opening 2 games of a Champions League campaign, whilst Manchester United have picked up 6 points from their first group games only once in their last 5 campaigns. Among all victories on match day 1 of these season Champions League, CSK Moscow registered the lowest possession. CSK failed to keep a clean sheet in their last 29 Champions League games. Their last shutout coming in November 2011 against Trabzonspor, whatever that says. Man United have reached knockout stage in 16 of their previous 20 Champions League appearances. However, they made it past the group stage since 2013-14. Man United have only won 1 of their last 10 Champions League away games. It was against Bayer Leverkusen in November 2013, which was a 5-0 victory. But Jose Mourinho has actually faced Moscow 6 times in the Champions League, winning 5 and drawing 1. He was one of 5 managers to have won the European Cup Champions League with 2 different clubs, alongside Ernest Happel, Hitzfeld, Jupp Heynckes and Carlo Ancelotti. So Jose Mourinho's got a very, very good winning pedigree against CSK Moscow. He's faced them 6 times and he's won 5 of them and drawn 1 of them as well. So he has got what?
I'll put my dad's to clean his flat.
Alright.
This is too smoky in here.
Dad, shut that door.
So, work again. I won't be long. We'll do that an hour.
Alright. Sorry about that, my apologies. But yeah, he's got a good record. He's played him 6 times Mourinho under Moscow. He's won 5 and drawn 1. So yeah, that's the statistics for this game. So I presume it's going to be a Manchester United win. So we will look into the form of CSK Moscow. We'll see how they're doing in the league, just to give me any idea if they're going to put up a challenge. Let's have a look if I think they're going to put up a challenge. CSK Moscow. They are sitting 4th in their league as well, I think. Yep, 4th in their league. Yeah, I think it's 4th. Yeah, it is, I think. We'll just go on to their last 5 games, see how they are performing, Moscow. There. Yeah. We'll go on to it now. Wait there. Moscow, right. Home lost 2-1 to Rubik Kazan on the first day in their league. Beat Tosno 2-1. Beat Spartak Moscow 2-1. Won at Young Boys in Champions League qualification. Obviously 1-0 again, qualification for the Champions League. Drew 0-0 with Ural. Beat them at home, Young Boys 2-0. Lost 1-0 at Akhmat. Tosno 4-2. Won at Akhmat 1-0. And beat Benfica 2-1. Beat Benfica 2-1. Beat Rostov 2-0. Drew with Dynamo Moscow 0-0. And yeah, that's about it. So they're not in that much of bad form in Moscow in their league. They are sitting 4th in their league, so they're not really in much of a bad form. But I think it's going to be United win, because the way we've been performing, we've got Valencia that's been performing fantastically well at that right back position. He's made now over 2 century appearances for Manchester United. Ashley Young has been performing fantastically well. Bailey and Jones have been doing very, very well. We know that left back, he's been putting Blin there for the majority of this season, where I think Blin's performed fantastically well. But I have still concerns that United still need a winger, and I still have concerns that our midfield does look a bit static there, without Paul Pogba. But we're still in talks, with signing Herrera, a new deal, a player that's been at the club since 2014. He hasn't featured much this season as Ander Herrera, to be quite fair, but we're in the process of signing him a new deal. Also, too, we're probably still in talks of signing Marian Fellaini, a new deal as well. Fellaini, who scored made 28 appearances last season, scored 1 goal, and this season so far, he's come off the bench a couple of times to get his name on the score sheet. He did agree personal terms with Galatasaray in the window, but it had come to a conclusion as Jose Mourinho had blocked to move, and also Juventus had come in as well. I think, the club are only keen on signing 1-year extension, but I think that Fellaini wants more than a 1-year extension, because Jose Mourinho says he's a key player, and he does admire the player, and he's now been at Old Trafford for 5 years. This is his 5th season in the process with Man United. He's Marian Fellaini. So also I think Mata's coming to an end of his deal. I think he's been performing fantastically well as Juan Mata. He can play on the right, he can play in the middle, just like Mkhitaryan can play in the middle, can play on the right. Mata's been featuring a lot in Mkhitaryan's other position a lot. Mata's been playing on the right. Mkhitaryan's been operating more on the number 10 role than Mata has. Mata's been performing on the right. And I think Mata's been playing pretty well, He's been unlucky not to get his name on the score sheet, especially in the Burton game. I thought Mata made a massive impact in that game, in my opinion. Mata's a very, very good player. He's a very, very good player. He's Juan Mata, and I do really, really like him. But it's good to have 2 young, talented, experienced players, in your team, such as Rashford and Martial. Very, very good players. I do really like them. Rashford scored 11 goals. Rashford scored 11 goals last season. Now he's already scored 5 in all competitions this season. What a player Marcus Rashford is. You've got Martial, who failed to replicate that form last season. Then he did under Van Gaal. He did well under Van Gaal, but last season Martial wasn't at the best. But this season, he's dramatically improved. He's growing and developing into his game, the ex-Monaco player. And the only youngsters, and it's good to see, Martial, winning League Cup with us, winning the Europa League with us, winning the Europa League Cup and FA Cup with us. It's good to see, Rashford winning the FA Cup with us, League Cup with us, Europa League with us. All he needs to do now is the Premier League and Champions League, and it's successful. And he's only 19, or is he 20 years of age now? He's Marcus Rashford. So it's good to have two young prospects in your team, and this is why Jose Mourinho did not sanction Martial off in the window, due to, look, he knew he was going to improve on his game, and he has improved on his game. Very, very good, skillful, delightful player to watch. He's Martial and Marcus Rashford as well, and they've been trending this season. One's been coming off the bench to score, one's been Rashford's come off the bench to score, but Martial's come off the bench to score, as we all said, but. But I think Man United, are going to win this game. I think Man United are going to win this game, guys, without a shadow of a doubt, with the attack of Lukaku, 8 goals this season. But for me, I'm going to go in this game, I'm going to go with a... But actually, the last meetings between these, I do remember actually Manchester United ages ago. We did beat Moscow 1-0 back in 2010 with a Valencia goal. We once drew with them 3-3 at Old Trafford in the second leg, I think it was. We was 3-1 down at one point in that game. I do remember them games. The recent ones have ended 1-1 and 1-0 United. The other ones have ended 0-0 as well. So I presume it's not going to be an easy game to go away. But I think I'm going to go for a Manchester United win without a doubt, guys. I'm going to go with a United win. So yeah, my prediction is a Manchester United win as well in the process. So we'll go into some of the other predictions in the games, as we always do on the channel. I love to do this, guys, with you. We'll do as many as we can. Man United's not till Wednesday, as I said. In the Champions League so far, you've got top scorers such as Ronaldo, you've got Cavani in there, you've even got Harry Kane in the mix, you've got Messi in the mix as well as the top scorers in the Champions League so far in the group stage. But yeah, Napoli-Feyenoord, not too really bothered about doing that one. Man City, Shakhtar Donetsk. For me, it's going to be a Manchester City win, to be quite fair. The way we all said, Manchester City, not a very, very consistent team, as we all know in the Champions League. Manchester City, we all know they're not a very consistent team. They were absolutely destroyed by Monaco last season in the Champions League with Manchester City. But the way they're performing this season, City spent a lot of money in the August window. They've strengthened defensive area. They've got the likes of Sterling, that's on form. Aguero, that's on form. Gabriel Jesus, that's on form. They've got quality players, and Pep Guardiola's got a good pedigree as a... Pep Guardiola, very, very good manager for Manchester City. I think Manchester City can be more consistent in the Champions League this season as well as the Premier League, because they have got a very, very good team, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. They won last time out in their last Champions League game, 4-0 away at Feyenoord. Feyenoord are a poor side, but City won comprehensively very, very well in a very convincing performance from Manchester City. For me, they've been scoring goals for fun, 6 at Watford, 5 against Liverpool, 4 at Feyenoord, as I said, 2 against West Brom, who else? 5 against Crystal Palace. City are just running riot at the moment. So for me, let's just go into a bit of the match details. And this is the first encounter between City and Shakhtar Donetsk in the process as well. But you never know really, because Shakhtar Donetsk are top of their league at the moment, so they are playing very, very well. But when you're coming up lights against Manchester City, for them it is going to be hard. But I'm going to go with a City 3-1 win. But I'm going to go with a City 3-1 win. We're not going to do all the games because I can't be bothered doing all the games. We're just going to do certain games that are good. This is going to be a good encounter between Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid. Now, Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid is going to be a very, very, very good game of football. This is a good game. We know I've got Borussia Dortmund, have got a very, very good team. They did lose Ousmane Dembele, as we do know, did Borussia Dortmund to Barcelona, so they gained a lot of money for that. But Borussia Dortmund still got Aubameyang in their team. They've got quite a few class players in their team. Also, Real Madrid, for me, Borussia Dortmund did lose last time out to Tottenham as well. Real Madrid are a very, very good team, record holders of the Champions League, 12, 13 times. I think it's 12, 13 times. I think they beat Did Real Madrid beat Apple last time out? I can't remember the scoreline, but they did win that. But Real Madrid have got the class of, like, you know, Benzema's just signed a new deal. Isco's just signed a 5-year deal. They're in talks of signing Asenio, a new deal, who's risen up the ranks fantastically well with Real Madrid. They've got the likes of Bale in there as well. So for me, you know, they've got the second world's best footballer in the world, which is Ronaldo, just behind Messi, in my opinion. You know, 5 Ballon d'Ors. Is it 4 Ballon d'Ors or 5 Ballon d'Ors? 4 European Golden Shoes, over 600 goals for his club and country. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored about 32 La Liga hat tricks in the process as well, and he's been at Real Madrid now for I think this is his 9th season now with Real Madrid. They did pay £80 million for him from Manchester United, but everywhere Ronaldo's been, he's been fantastic. Reason that thanks to Sporting Lisbon, Man United paid £12 million for him. Scored over 100 goals for the Manchester United, you know, won honours with us as well, including Premier League, FA Cup, you know, League Cups with us as well. Very, very good player, and Ronaldo is the second best player for me in world football, and I think it's going to be a tight game, but for me, I think Real Madrid are going to just seek this one out, in my opinion. But with City game, I said yes, 3-1 to City. Real Madrid, I'm going to go for 2-1 to Real Madrid, 2-1 Real Madrid, 3-1 City. And Man United game, I'm going to go for over 2-1 Manchester United win. So Borussia Dortmund Real Madrid, I'm going to go with 2-1 Madrid, 3-1 City and 2-1 Manchester United in the process. And then you've got Spartak Moscow, Liverpool. As I do keep saying, you know, about this, Liverpool, you know, did beat Leicester, you know, by 3-2. As I said, Vardy's got a very, very good record against Liverpool, as I said, in the last couple of years, especially. Liverpool have not played dramatically well, you know, since they beat Arsenal 4-0. They've gone downhill, drawing with Seville, losing to the likes of Leicester in the Cup as well, you know, drawing with Burnley. So Liverpool have not been at the best, to quite honest. I don't think they're going to be consistent in the Champions League. I don't think they're going to do much in the Champions League, to be fair, because they still need to invest some money in the January window. There's still areas that Liverpool still need to strengthen up in the squad. They still need number 9. They still need someone at the back as well, as I do keep saying. But it's Liverpool, Spartak Moscow. I don't really know much about Spartak Moscow, to be quite honest with you, but I will go for the draw in that game. I will go for a 1-1 draw in that game in the process. So yeah, that's my predictions on that. But Liverpool still got likes of Salah. They had Mane that got a 3-match ban, who were hitting form for them. They've still got a good attacking team, but it's just the defensive area that they need to improve on. We're not going to do every game, as I said. You've got Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea. This is going to be a very, very good game in the process. Atletico Madrid, you know, I'm just going to actually have a look how Atletico Madrid, you know, have actually been doing. But actually, Atletico Madrid are unbeaten in the last 4 games against Chelsea. But in the last 2 meetings have ended draws of the recent meetings as well. So Atletico Madrid have not lost to Chelsea in 4 competitive games. They are unbeaten against Chelsea. Now, this is going to be a very, very interesting game of football. Is this Chelsea have won the competition once? They beat Bayern Munich in the final, so they've won the competition once. Eden Hazard as well has only scored 1 goal in his last 13 Champions League games. It was from a penalty against Paris Saint-Germain. And Griezmann has scored or assisted 50% of Atletico Madrid's goals in the Champions League over the last 2 seasons as well, which is very, very impressive as well. This is Conte's 3rd Champions League campaign as a manager. His best performance was when he reached 2012-13, when he reached the quarterfinals with Juventus. Did Conte as well. So this is going to be a very, very interesting game. Obviously, we know Chelsea, you know, are doing very, very well though, so they may put up a fight. Even though Atletico Madrid is still a very, very good team, Chelsea, you know, Just obviously they've got Morata that's it in form, scored an hat-trick against Stoke. They've got the likes of Bakayoko, Conte, very good manager. Chelsea won the league as well with him last season. But Chelsea had the likes of wins against Stoke 4-0. They beat who else did they beat? The drew with Arsenal, obviously. They were a bit disappointed about that because they've got a very, very good record against Arsenal, at home especially, because they're undefeated against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge in 2011. Especially when Chelsea had Mourinho, Stamford Bridge was an absolute fortress. They were really, really hard to beat at Stamford Bridge. With Chelsea, as I do keep saying in the process, and Chelsea, have had the results that, like, I said they beat Stoke. They won the last Champions League game against Quarberg 6-0. They beat who else? And who else did they beat now? Chelsea. Chelsea obviously lost to Burnley on the first game of the season. They beat the likes of Leicester. They beat Everton comfortably. So they're in very, very good form, Chelsea. So it's going to be hard to call. We obviously know Diego Costa's going to Atletico Madrid in January. It can't happen yet due to the transfer window shut, and plus Atletico Madrid have got a transfer ban. Back in 2014, Chelsea paid £32 million for the player. They paid £32 million for him, and in his 3 years with Chelsea, he won a couple of leagues, won League Cup as well with Chelsea. Did Diego Costa, but he hasn't played as Costa since the FA Cup final with Arsenal, and he hasn't featured in a game for Chelsea this season. And he's been the top scorer for the last couple of years, but it just got fully confirmed that Chelsea had come to an agreement with Atletico Madrid. I think this is actually over £50 million that Atletico Madrid are going to be paying to purchase Diego Costa away from Chelsea. After Conte had confirmed he's no longer in the club plans, I think he will have to go to Spain to complete his medical and discuss the personal terms, but he won't be arriving at Atletico Madrid until January in the process. But we know that Atletico Madrid have just got a new stadium, and it looks a very, very static stadium, to quite honest with you, and it looks a very, very good stadium of what I've seen it as well. And Atletico Madrid have got very, very good players, as we all know. They've got Griezmann in there, and they've got quite a few decent players of Atletico Madrid that could cause Chelsea problems. But it is going to be a tight game. I think Man United could still get Griezmann next summer or January, I do hope. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the process of that. For me, this is going to be a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I am going to go for 1-1 in this game. But Atletico Madrid are sitting second, and let's be honest, Real Madrid haven't had the best. But considering the Real Madrid Borussia Dortmund game, Real Madrid have not had the best of starts, to this La Liga campaign this season. But Borussia Dortmund, they could win the game. I don't know. It's hard to call, but Atletico Madrid are sitting second, so they're playing pretty well at Atletico Madrid in the process. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this game. And then you've got another good game here. You've got Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich, and you've got Paris Saint-Germain, who invested a lot of money in the window. They invested a lot of money in the window. They've got the likes of Mbappe, they've got the likes of Neymar. That's it in form for them, and they're coming up against Bayern Munich as well. As I said, what Robert Lewandowski said. He wasn't satisfied with the lack of investment in Bayern Munich's transfer window. Lewandowski wasn't satisfied about this. Lewandowski has now made over a century appearances for the Bayern Munich. He has how many goals he scored? I think he's scored about 90 odd goals now as Robert Lewandowski. I think in the process he scored now in about 156 appearances this summer, about 119, 120 goals for Bayern Munich as Robert Lewandowski, but highly experienced, proved it during his period with Borussia Dortmund. I think this is now his fourth season in the process for Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich had got him on a free transfer from Borussia Dortmund. Over the years, though, he's been voted top scorer. He's won always with Borussia Dortmund. He's won always with Bayern Munich now. He has got a deal there until 2021 as Robert Lewandowski as well. And he did say he did actually want to make the move to Real Madrid, did Robert Lewandowski. So he could still potentially leave. I doubt he will, because I don't think Real Madrid will be that bothered about Robert Lewandowski now that Benzema's signed a new deal, especially. And there's also been talks, with Thomas Muller. Obviously, we know they also got Rodriguez in the window as well, did Bayern Munich. They obviously lost Renato Sanchez as well. They got let Renato Sanchez go, but yes, Thomas Muller, who's won honours with Bayern Munich, won a double with him in 2010, won a historic treble with him in 2013, but since it's in 2013 as Thomas Muller, but under Carlo Ancelotti, he did say he hasn't become a regular star. He did say a few in teams were interested in the player. He's now made over 4 century appearances for Bayern Munich. I do think now as a Thomas Muller in the process. He has got a deal until 2021. Man United went for him back 2014, was it, or 2015? We put £85 million in, which was a record fee then, but it didn't materialise because I think he was happy with Bayern Munich. I still think he is happy with Bayern Munich. Thomas Muller is a player that's creative, he's good in the air, he's skillful, he's strong, he's quick. He's very tenacious, his versatility is very good. He's the vice captain of Munich, he can play in the mid. He can play in numerous positions, Thomas Muller. But for me, it's going to be an hard one to call, considering PSG spent, a lot more money than Bayern Munich in the window. For me, Bayern Munich have won the Champions League about 6 times, as I said, 5 times. I think it's about that, and PSG is their target. PSG's target is to try and get the Champions League this season, considering the amount of money they've spent, and plus they have never won the Champions League. They did offload a couple of players, but PSG still may need to offload a few more players in the process as well as that. But as I said, we're not going into all the Champions League games because it's going to take too long. I'm just going to do some. I'm just going to talk about a couple of them. I'm just going to talk about a couple of them guys. As I said, yeah, you've got Sport with there. You've got Apple Tottenham as well. With Tottenham, they did beat Borussia Dortmund last time out by 3-1. Harry Kane scoring twice as well. Tottenham's last game, they beat West Ham 3-2. Harry Kane scoring twice in that as well. Player that's very, very good. Probably one of the best Premier League strikers in the Premier League. Won the Golden Boot, for the last couple of years. Tottenham have struggled at Wembley this season, especially in the league. They are yet to win at Wembley. Yeah, the way the football that Pochettino's got them playing though is very, very good to watch. And they've been very consistent the last couple of years. Best Tottenham team, I've seen for years on end. Don't think they're strong enough to compete in the Champions League, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. They did beat Borussia Dortmund last time out. But Tottenham could maybe win this Apple game. As I said, they could maybe win this game. And it is the first competitive meeting between the two sides as well in the process. But Apple are not doing well in their league. They are sitting 11th so far. So for me, Tottenham are in better form than them. They're doing poor in their league. Tottenham are doing okay in the Premier League away from home, but at home they are finding it very, very hard indeed. And Harry Kane, in the 3 seasons with Tottenham, he has made fantastic progression, and Pochettino does respect him in that way, and that he's not considering making the move from Tottenham Hotspur, worth about at least £100 million now in this market. So that's going to be a Tottenham win for me. I'm going to go for 3-1 to Tottenham in that game. So 3-1 to Tottenham. As I said, 3-1 Tottenham. The Liverpool game, what did I say? 1-1 was it? 1-1 Liverpool, 3-1 Tottenham. City 3-1. Manchester United 2-1, as I said. Paris Saint-Germain by Munich. Did I say 1? No, I didn't. I'm going to go 3-2 Paris Saint-Germain in that game. Atletico Madrid Chelsea. I did say that is going to be... What did I say for that one now? I said a 1-1 draw, didn't I? Yes, a 1-1 draw in that game. So I'm just doing a couple of my predictions of what I think they're going to end up these scores. Borussia Dortmund, Real Madrid. As I said 2-1 Real Madrid in that game. So there you go. They are a couple of your predictions for these current Champions League games. I'm not going to go through them all. I'm just going to do the ones that look very, very important. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. Subscribe if you do consider. Press the like button and take it easy, and I'll see you later. Bye, and we'll be coming up with some team news. When more things is updated, we'll be doing a starting 11 prediction on the Cska Moscow game. So take it easy, guys. Drop a like if you do consider, and I'll see you all later. Take care.